Okay, this is part two, and it's starting off talking about the fact that that everyone, all of us, literally move through time and space. It's something we do very naturally. It's part of who we are, but not the body. The body doesn't come with us. When you go astral project somewhere, go run around other ships, other planets, your body's not there. Okay, it's at home in bed. So, uh, but let's take a look at some of the stuff now. Let's keep going with part two, and there is energy work involved here. Alrighty then. So anyway, that's who you are. Is all of you came from. We all came from the original first being, which separated itself into two different pieces, two different types of energy, so it would have company. It created its own company, and that created male and female, the initial male and female, and we all come from it, so we're all family members. We're all tied in together. We are tied together through that thought process. We're not actually attached to each other. We're all inside the field, but the field is not part of us. We are not part of it. It just goes through you. Okay? I say through you because it's part of what I am, is the field. That happened May of 2013. After the deletion of the original first being, male and female, the complete deletion, the next alpha male source, his job is to be the field. So that's when all that started happening. Anyway, so with that in mind, and if you have any stones around, I want to start using the stones to help you start to understand a little more about your feelings, your abilities, your senses, your metabilities, your metaphysical abilities. Before we go there, I want to show you one other thing. This first part, what I was trying to get you to do is understand a little bit about yourself and a little bit about me. To new people coming in, especially when people are so skeptic of everything, it's good to have an open mind, but it's good to trust yourself, whether you really think something is real or not, and to take in something and just see how you feel about it. Trust that initial feeling. You have that for a reason. It's very important. But then relax, see how things go. Anyway, there's a gentleman named Martin Parra out in, I think out in Switzerland or something, somewhere around there. I can't remember, and Martin knows me. I've lost a lot of memory and stuff like that because of what I'm doing. I might have mentioned already the guy who came to me many years ago and said, you're growing, but you need more of your brain. So I have to delete some memories and some other stuff that you don't really need. No, that's fine. I don't care. Just let's get the job done so I can get out of here. And my memory's one of them. Anyway, such as, where did I just leave off? Anyway, I wanted you to know a little bit about me and a little bit about what's going on. The fact that your metabilities are real, a part of you. When you were created, released from the original first being, male and female, you already had your abilities. The one gift they gave you was to release you from them. They released a third of their energy. They took 97% of the negativity out of it, and then they went ahead and pulled you out of parts of that. So the reason I was talking about angels before, Lucifer, the reason why they made Lucifer before any others, and he has a higher concentration of lower frequencies, which have more strength, and the other ones, they're stronger, more powerful than the higher frequencies, until those higher frequencies have had the chance to develop. If you don't develop the lower frequencies, but the higher frequencies have been developed, then finally through having a lot of lives, then finally the higher frequencies, can deal with the lower ones. So it was imperative the lower frequencies didn't go around having lives. When they took all that negative initial source energy out of that third of their own energy they pulled out, they had already made the angel what people call Lucifer to guard it, to enclose it, guard it, keep them all in there. To mention, barrier was made. They were kept in there. It wasn't a very good one. It's been replaced a long time ago anyway. So anyway, he was averaging about 20% lower frequencies, which angels are like 1 or less percent lower frequencies. But he was made to protect everyone. He was made to protect, for that one reason, to protect. Number 2, the other angel, that large angel that's still here, is Archangel Michael, a very, very close friend of mine. All the other ones that people have given names for, like Raphael, Mike, all the other ones, they're gone. Archangel Gabriel, gone. Met a part of him in a physical body in person, shook his hand, and he gave me the nastiest, cockiest look. He's dead. All of them are arrogant. That's the way they were made to be. They did whatever they were told, didn't care. They were servants. They were like robots. So anyway, now that you don't have all this stuff hanging on you, running your lives, messing with you, you're finally free to become yourself, to use your abilities without them going inside you and turning everything off. They can also go into the base of the spine. Any spirit can do that. Go to the base of your spine and mess with you, to where you can't even function through your upper crown. The different aura colors that are expressed that people have, these are the colors of the different chakras. Boy, that is so screwed up. The pineal, the pineal field goes from here down to just below the larynx. That's all dark blue. That comes from the pineal gland. Okay. That color is almost always right. The solar plexus is yellow. That color is almost right. The rest of them, they usually have a lighter color for the upper crown. The crown's up here. That's correct. Everything else is off. The heart, usually they have like green for the heart. The heart produces more different frequencies, which have their own independent byproduct, which is an ore. Than any other focal field, energy focal point of your energy inside the human body. That's just the way they are. How they work, how they all function, it's in book 3. How they all run through you, what makes the body run. How's the body run? There's no extension cord, no battery. What is it? Solar panels? Yeah, I got some solar panels. No, there's no solar panels. But it's you. It's the real you, spirit, sentient energy inside that body making it run. Okay, I need to get away from this so that beard doesn't mess with anything. Anyway, with this mic I meant. I would hope that by now you understand I'm just a person like you. I'm spirit inside a body. That's finally done, about done. I mean, I'm right about there, done with my last life. I'll never have another one, because my job is to serve everything and everyone. I was made for that, and that's all I want to do. That's my purpose. And I cannot do that in a body. Besides, these bodies are too abusive. So anyway, that's what I am. That's why I can do this stuff. I do want to show you the quantitative electroencephalogram pictures. But I want you to realize I'm just Joe Blow. I'm no better than anyone else. None of us are. There's a lot of people that do such nasty things. You say, well, I'm better than them. Well, honestly, we all have equality. But the things that you do, the life that you live, how you react to things, is on a much totally different level than them. The love, compassion, caring you have is much better for creation than these other nasty things. And there's a lot of them here on this planet. But still, they have the right to live. As long as they're not abusing you, they have the right. And I've been protecting them too. I have some friends that are really dark, negative, original source. Not many, but a few. Most of them have been killed, destroyed in the battle that happened July 10th, 2012. It's about just after 10 o'clock at night, too, when it happened. Eastern Standard Time, anyway. But let me show you one last thing, okay? Let me get this diagram. And I want to explain a couple things to you. Martin Parra is a gentleman that's, like I said, out around Switzerland. He was in Sweden getting a quantitative electroencephalogram done on his head while I was here in Duluth. And they put a net on your head with wires coming off. You can see some of that in the video. The video there is almost 2 hours long. It doesn't really, we use 2 different laptops. I mean, through Skype. It's a pathetically poor video. However, if you just stop and look at some of that, you'll see that something was happening. This is real. It's not a setup. Also, I think it's a little more than halfway through the video when they got ready to change. First, they had to set everything up, get the computer ready. Then they do the test on Martin without me in his brain. So I literally put a bubble around him, keeping me and everything else out. And then he was left alone to, do the test with just his brain. And then after that, it was time for me to fire up my brain. And she was she was resetting the computer, making sure everything's fine. And my energy, part of me's over there, my energy, just wanted to crank everything up, getting all excited. And she can't get the computer to calm down. It's pretty funny when you see it. And then I finally got that, handled. And then we went into the video. People, it's so fun. It's so exciting to know who you are. And then I like to play with those abilities that I have. I can't telekinetically move a pencil. No one can. That has to be done by the other side. That will change with some of the new children coming. Their DNA is very special. They come from parents that have so much source embedded in them, if they're not source already, that these children, when they come out, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are going to have source put inside them. And with that special DNA, and there are some people that, that are source that'll be having children. There's over 48, there's actually like 56 that have come from Deanna and I. No, she hasn't had 56 children. It's the material taken from both of us, and the Sepoians are pretty much the best in creation about that. That might be argued between 3 or 4 races, but whatever. Their DNA is crazy, and they can weed out things like diabetes and stuff like that in the DNA. They're very good at what they do. There's new laws regarding that too now, but they have had our permission to do that. Deanna and I talk to the kids when the children are growing from and when they're created in that kind of manner. They grow very fast, really quick. By the time they get to 16, maybe 18 years old, they slow down to a normal to a rate that's normal for that DNA. But the beginning is very fast. Talk about going through growth pains. The more you increase your abilities, the more you can do this. It's a natural thing. But the first thing is for you to relax, become aware of this stuff for yourself, to become aware of who you really are, nice and easy, and to start developing those abilities. And then you're going to realize it's true. You're going to realize that these things you're seeing, it's not something you made up. This is real. Learning how to trust yourself especially because those of you that are the strongest and who are really also just strong anyway, all of you are strong, but wanting to actually take these abilities and bring them out, you've been kept from it. Now that's been taken away. You're free. So it's learning how to trust yourself, trust your abilities, and then the more you trust them, the more they start developing. If you say, purple elephant, see a purple elephant, all of a sudden you think you see a purple elephant, yeah, well, guess what? You know, you made that. Unless you do that, whatever you see and feel, go at it, relax, go to it, see it and feel it, just flow into it. You can't come out of that body if you wanted to. Trust me, it doesn't work like that yet, and it's going to be a long time before it does. It's going to be a good few years, okay? So just go ahead and feel into it and start to learn more about it. And the more you do it, the more you'll understand for yourself. You'll have enough proof. Something keeps repeating itself. It becomes as close to physical proof as you can get that this is real. I had to fight stuff. I had stuff attacking me, knocking me out as original first being, male and female. They were the worst. They could really maneuver getting in and out of your head. They were the only ones that ever ran a life. If you want to have a monopoly on something, if you want to be the only way people can move through a city, then you be the bus driver, and you don't let anyone learn how to drive the bus. Basically the same thing for having lives. When I do these videos, especially now, my own energy outside cranks my body up more so I can do this. But I can only do that so much before I start having an issue. When I slow down, that's all that's happening. I had my heart hit real hard a few videos ago. Knocked my nose in the dirt. Let's just say that. Anyway, just trying to explain stuff. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before we do some energy work is this quantitative electroencephalogram that Martin and I did together. Well, he did, and I just went into him. You see, there'll be a couple pictures on the left-hand side. You have a graph of color-coded graph of a picture of a brain, and then a scale in the middle of the almost in the middle of the graph, explaining the colors and then the density. Then there's a numeric value to it. And then on the right hand side, it's the same test, but that's when I was in Martin's head. I went into his hypothalamus gland and I opened up a little bit of energy and released it towards the pineal field, coming from the hypothalamus out into the rest of the head. The hypothalamus gland in the brain is like the center point, the nexus of your own spirit energy flow through the brain. The part of you that keeps you running, your body running, is in the main base part of the base element of the brain itself, the base matter. And then these other places are focal points of energy within the brain, or where your energies flow through. The pineal gland is made differently. The actual design of it is made to flow your own spirit through it, and depending on its shape and your own energy, as that energy flows through, as your spirit, those energy frequencies flow through it, that creates the amount of your ability to see multidimensionally. And now what comes from the solar plexus, it comes out the scanner right here, right where the top meets over here, this lump, that's your scanner. Where you see through that, that's remote viewing, photographic memory, that kind of thing. Okay, now let me go ahead and show you this, these pictures, okay? There's two sets of pictures I want to show you. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now, here's the first chart. The Z-scored FFT summary information. If you look at the top left, look at the chart on the left-hand side. It says Martin. It says me alone. That's Martin's handwriting. That's what he sent me. And it's on the very top left image of a brain head. It says delta absolute power. Blah. It says delta absolute power. Okay. Now, you look at a scale. That's just where the green heads stop and the pink heads start. And you see green's right around 0, neutral. So there's a blue blotch just towards a little bit towards the head, but on the top of the head, which is a lower frequency, which is actually more about relaxing. And then the rest of his head is green. Now, for the same test, the same thing, if you look on the right-hand side where it says delta absolute power, you'll notice that there's a green blotch in the same location that the blue blotch was when it was just him alone. It's on that same electrode. You look in the middle of that thing and you see the same electrode, same brain dot. And then the green is just, again, it's relaxing around 0. Well, you notice how the rest of his head is fired up hard. So on that scale, that says +3. That gives you an idea. Now, on the left-hand side, again, you go to delta absolute power. You go down to the one below it, relative power. And then you check it on the chart with me to the right side of that. And you can see all that extra power that was in there and where it's located moving through the brain. Now, back to the chart on the left. Staying on that left-hand side, you go down to the first pink head. And it says amplitude asymmetry. Okay. You take a look. There's a little bit of red in there, a little bit of blue. Now you go to the corresponding brain on the chart to the right. And all hell, it looks like all hell's broken out. Look at the amount of activity on the chart on the left-hand side and compare that to what's on the right-hand side. When I go into someone's brain, it increases the power level. It's ridiculous. Okay, now let's take a look at the blue chart. All right, here, the first thing that each head has its own little scale built in. Now, this is the FFT absolute power. You look to on a delta wave on the upper left corner of the left chart, upper left corner, it's delta 1.0 to 4.0 hertz. You see the brain, and you see about 10.5 is what the green is. Okay. But there's more green than anything else. And then 4, which is blue, is there's not a whole lot of blue, just that little bit in that one part of his brain. And then there's also not too much of the number 17 on the scale, the red orange color. There's not very little of that. Now go to the corresponding brain picture on the right hand side. When I went into his head, there's actually on his scale, the lowest number was 4. On this one, it's even less. It's 0. And you can see most of the brain is in relaxation state. So you'd think, well, gee, maybe Jay was putting his energy into him, wasn't doing anything. No, I went into the hypothalamus and then moved everything. I was also moving everything forward. If you look at the that picture, look at the very front where there's all that orange and then a little yellow and green. Now look at the scale. The orange on this scale, the orange when I was into his head, the numerical value was 1300. When you go look at his on the left chart on the left-hand side, him alone, that high spot, the orange, which there isn't even much of, is 17. So that's 17 compared to 1300. So, when you want, take a look at those charts You can download them from the video. Hopefully you download the video anyway, because I'm telling you, the stuff here you want to use later. I'm sure it'll be up on the video for a while. Anyway, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, there we go. Excuse me. Now, anyway, that's a quantitative electroencephalogram, which is showing you what? Not many people know how to read that. I don't any more than what I told you and what I can see happening in my head. The more you awaken yourself, the more you'll understand and know just by knowing, not by having taken a course on something. You'll have a more clearer, a fuller understanding of something just by knowing. It's literally you taking energy that's information, by using your energy, reaching into the, floating out into the source field and pulling the information out of there. There's no building called an Akashic record. That's just a name given, or Akashic records, whatever. That's just a name given to the ability to access information that no one had this information yet. How the hell could you know where it came from until finally somebody came here, could stop what was screwing with you, delete it, and then help you with energy wake up so that you could see it for yourself. That's the most important thing here. You seeing stuff for yourself. Okay? This video costs nothing. It's free. Like over 600 other ones that I put up here in this channel for you, for your information. And a lot of the stuff I put on there about when these councils were made and everything, you're going to find out that they're on the money. I told you something was made one day, then unless there's a very small discrepancy between the timing from universal timing to what it is here today, I tell you, if you put it together, you're going to find out that it happened at that moment, that same day that I told you. Some things happened hours, some of the things I told you about happened hours before I told you about it, and that's, I show you this, the date, make the date timestamp, so you have that. I also wanted you to have that for a lot of videos, so you can see over time I kept getting stronger and learning more. You're going to do the same thing, and people say, "Oh, you screwed up. You were wrong, so therefore you can't do anything right." That's what they want to say. It's like, really? The best race car drivers in the world have wrecked a lot more than, probably everyone on your street. I guarantee you, unless you have a real big street. So, understand that. Finding out a better way to do something is creative intelligence that takes you past a point where you never could move forward, and now there you are, having moved forward. Those people screaming and crying, they're afraid about moving forward. They're afraid they can't do something. They have feelings of insecurity or a lack of attention that they desire so much, like little children. Don't let those people bother you. I don't. I love them. Don't want anything to happen to them. I'll do what I can to help them, but screw them. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about myself and doing what I can to fulfill the reason why I'm here. And the reason, when I say the reason why I'm here, I don't just mean in body, but I mean why I was created. So I changed my format a little bit about, why I was created. Initially, it was 3 things: serve the original first being, male and female, be their servant. Number 2, protect and then number 1 also included protecting them first, and then number 2, protecting everything else they built, and number 3, when anything else came out of that first dimension, because the first dimension is energy floating around, where through happenstance the right energy fields come together, a minimum of 5 different ones. It creates sentient energy. So anyway, they knew something would be coming out. They wanted me to beat it up and, subdue it and make it do whatever they wanted to. So I said, sure, okay, to everything. And then I started having lives, and I started developing an understanding for right and wrong. And then I got back with them, and I said, nah, this thing about these 3 formats, that ain't happening, okay? I'll protect you. I'll protect everything that, you make, everything that comes from you. Everything built, as long as it's nice. But the third thing, if somebody else comes out of there, I'm going to say, hi, how you doing? Sit down, let's have some beer and pizza. And if I need to, I'm going to protect it, because it's also part of creation. I said I changed my format to protecting creation, number 1. They didn't like that, but whatever. It didn't take long before the original, it was the first 100 million lives, the original first being male and female, especially the male, realized that I was a problem. He said one day I'm going to have to deal with him. Well, that day came. He lost. Anyway, this is who you are inside, spirit, sentient energy. Your 5 different energy fields that came together with a little bit of heavy particulate matter that was floating around, and got pulled in a reaction. Excuse me just a minute. Okay, someone just pissed me off. Anyway, and then that's where we all came from. That's part of what you are. That's what, as spirit, that's who you are. These 5 different energy fields, the last, the 5th, and the most important, you might say, the percentage of involvement in the energy becoming sentient is higher in this one field of energy, is an electromagnetic energy field. When you check the brain waves, everything else, what are you checking? Electromagnetic energy. What goes on the graph? Electromagnetic energy. Where does it come from? Oh, that battery that when you're a baby they shove inside your brain and then turn it on, right? And you replace it every 10 years? Of course not. People, that's who you are. That's who we are. And remember, we're not all connected. We're connected in the fact that our origin is the same. We're connected as all having come from the same being. But we are not spiritually, as spirit, we're not attached to each other. The field goes through you. The field is not part of you. Okay, you are not part of the field, but the field goes through you. When you go to see something, like to astral project somewhere to see something, lots of times you're going to go either through the pineal or the scanner. Depends on where you're stronger. When that happens, you don't actually go there as like creating a vortex. It was David Wilcock that came up with this hypothesis. Now, I don't think he ever stated that that's exactly how it's happened. What he did is insinuate the hell out of that's how it actually happens. Well, again, he's wrong. It doesn't happen like that. He was talking about how in China, there were some people actually measuring the photons, which is a unit of measure for energy. They call it light energy. It's energy. The amount of photons in a room increased when there was just say one or more people that went to remote view something, went to go look. So what in his mind, the way he saw the Plexus oriented. So in his mind, they said, well, it must have opened up in the head, created a vortex, actually went to the place and brought light particles into the room. Well, that is an assumption, and spreading it is dangerous because it's totally incorrect. Totally incorrect. Did the photons or energy reading increase in that room when those people were doing that? Yes, definitely. Okay, well, if they didn't actually build a dimensional door or a vortex and go to get the light from somewhere else and bring it in, then how did that happen? It's very simple. One of the jobs of the field, of the source field, is to help you. Help your heart move around. It's just to help everything flow. When you go to see something with your pineal gland, to go see something multidimensional, another dimension, family members that come, that are the bodies are deceased and they're out and they care about you, so they come by to see you and you feel them, but you can't see them. You relax, you just relax, open up your pineal more to see them, and because they are multidimensional, so it's better to see through the pineal than the solar plexus if you can. Then as soon as you do that, you're literally pushing that energy through the pineal. Now, as long as the field wants to, as long as that's its intention, and there's no angels to stop you, or the angels are letting it happen for a different reason, for their own agenda, which, again, they're gone. Okay, this is past tense. Okay, 2015, 2016, all that was dealt with. 2016, I think. So anyway, there's still a few to pop up, but not many. Anyway, that was excuse me. So now when you do that, the field literally wants to help. So if you can think of yourself as a person who's surfing and a wave is starting to roll up and you start paddling to catch the wave, and as soon as you get on that roll, it starts moving forward. You lean forward towards the front of the board. I used to love surfing. And then you get down further and then you can catch the wave and go. The field is like the wave. When you go to do that, the field builds up more energy, like sparkles is, it builds up more energy and literally gets into your pineal, into your energy, and helps more of you flow through to help you see. When you astral project at night to go places, same thing. It's like you're on a surfboard as Silver Surfer at a cartoon lore. So that's being made easier and easier all the time now. So I understand how David came up with that. It seems like the most natural physical concept, but it's incorrect. I'm not trying to beat on the guy. I love David Wilcock, I really do, and all the rest of them. But what they're doing for their own fame or fortune or whatever is wrong. Helping someone, people, yes. Stating what you know is true, yes. But trying to make something about yourself, why? Have you so little heart that you don't care about anyone else? I know I'm different, all right? I understand that. But I'm taking that into consideration. I left a monetary trail of the money I've spent. FBI, CIA, Homeland Security. FBI, Homeland Security knocked on my door. November 2012. Wanted to meet me personally. That was a lot of fun, actually. We had a good time. They just they didn't know what to think of me. We've been reading your emails, all of them, and we're watching, and then I said, good stuff to learn. Gave them some stars tonight, help feel it. So anyway, I need to pull away from that a little bit. And the point I'm trying to make, people, is that there's so much stuff going on out there that you're not aware of. And if you get these books that I have, if you really want to wake up and you can afford it, I know they're not that cheap. I can't help that. Okay? The spiritual awakening, revolution, evolution, whatever you want to call it, this new awareness, I'm very involved in it. I'm in the middle of it. I'm the thing pushing that wave. And it's going to happen. And you don't have to go here, you don't have to go there. But everything I built for you is at thespiritualfoundation.com. There are other people here who are source that can build spheres, crank up rocks, stones, crank you up. And as soon as I'm out of here, there's going to be more. As soon as I'm out of here, I'm resetting things on the other side. And no one's going to be allowed to mess with anyone, period. But especially the people who are source here in the body are being screwed with. Their lives are being screwed with by stuff on the other side. I know because I deal with that stuff and kill it all day. All day. I've done it twice since I started this video. Creation was made to be abusive, aggressive, arrogant, and for everything to go at each other. And all that's changing, but it doesn't happen overnight. You can't just kill everything and start again. It's not right. It's wrong. It's murder. Even cranking up a stone too much is like rape or something. It's horrific. Nothing has that right. I went to crank up a piece of Gaira one time, and she actually started yelling at me. Leave me alone. You got to crank up every part of me. I said, whoa, okay, I'm sorry. So anyway, where I'm trying to go with this is that there's all kinds of people everywhere that are going to help you wake up because they're stronger, they're more awake. And I've talked a lot about Source. Source is no better than anything else. And if it starts acting like it, why don't you get in their face and say, you know what? You ain't better than nothing else. So why don't you get your head out of the clouds and get down to reality? What are you trying to do? Build a temple to yourself? People started to try to make a couple fan club things about me a long time ago. I put an end to that viciously. That was on the first channel. I got vicious about it. On YouTube, all over the internet media. No one's going to make nothing about me because it's not. People were saying I was the president of this and that. I'm like, I'm the reason for your next headache. So anyway, that's why I can do these things. That's why I understand this stuff. That's why I know this stuff. That's why I'm here. And that's what this video is about. Just as you can go through time and space to feel stone. This is celestite. This is awesome for the hypothalamus. Just the same way you can do that. When you go to access, when someone accesses this video 100 years from now, I'll be right there in the field. I'll be cranking them up. Not a crank up, but I'll be going into them, cleaning them, relaxing them. I'm going to be doing that for everyone anyway as soon as I get out of here. But while I'm still here, I want to do this. So, if you, I should have said too, it's good to have some water hanging around. Water flows through the body, helps your energy, your spirit flow through the body. It's almost like like making the wiring in your body's functionality a little larger, carry more energy quicker. So let's start a little energy work, and I'm doing it at this time for a reason. Okay? So if you want to get some, pause it, get a little water, relax, turn it on again when you feel relaxed, and just make sure you're not thirsty. And then come back. Excuse me. Okay, now, one of the hardest thing in awakening, especially when you get started, is just to relax. Just to let go of everything for a moment. Understand that there's four couples, total of 5 dragons, there's 4 couples of dragon spirit that are literally the guardians of this planet. And then there's a fifth one, which is actually part of me. And Lena is the name of the female dragon of the wind. And she calls a lot. I've got a fay beech tree over here. It's huge. It's going on 100 feet. Much bigger than the beech, the wild beech. Yeah, wild beech trees grow, water beech or something. I've had stones brought up through the ground, give them to me, and fairies come flying around, say, we have something for you right here. And I said, thanks, we'll get it in the morning. Go out the next morning, and here's a special stone for me. Anyway, if you would, take 2, 3, 4. You can easily do it, mostly on the first. Relax again on the second, and just let go of stuff. Don't care. In order to become yourself, your real self, and that's you, spirit, not the body that you're inside and attached to, but your true self is spirit. You have to let your conscious mind, which is the body mind, so to speak, to go calm. Just for one, I don't care if you're going to lose your house and everything else. Man, I'm so sorry, but at the same time, just let it go for a moment. Just know in 5 minutes, maybe even a minute, you'll come back and deal with it. The earth will not blow up in a minute or 5 minutes or an hour. It's not going to happen anyway. Nibiru and everything, forget it. Ain't happening, period. So, relax. Take your hands, drop them on an arm, table, your lap. My stomach's almost so big now I can put them on my stomach. I've got, like I said, serious health issues, cirrhosis, edema from that, from liver, kidneys, blah, blah, blah. But just get comfortable. Let everything go. The front door's closed, locked. The water's not running, stove's not on. Your car's locked outside. Windows closed. Feel comfortable. Let go. Just let go. Forget a desire. Forget, I got to do this. You don't have to do crap right now, but just sit down, relax. Want to lay down? Lay down. But you have to be sitting or laying down. You stand up, your conscious mind is engaged. It doesn't mean you can't access it, but forget it. It ain't going to happen if you're starting, okay? So just let go. Every time you take a relaxed but complete or full breath and let loose slowly, you actually fall a little deeper down inside yourself. Your frequencies are relaxing. You're putting your thought process into the relaxed state it needs to be for your spirit to be left alone enough to function on its own. You'll feel relaxation and calm. Just let everything go. If you're looking at something, let your eyes just slowly fade out to where you're not seeing anything. Your previous focus becomes a gaze. Don't hesitate to shut your eyes. Just relax. Every nice full breath makes you calmer, and you just fall inside yourself a little bit. Take one more breath. Relax. And just feel around you. Once you're relaxed, you're already outside of your body. You're inside it, but you're extended outside of it. There's no worries. There's nothing you have to do for the next couple of minutes. Just relax. Now I'm softly going to literally go through your body and remove frustrations, frequencies that are hanging around. So here we go. Relax. Take a nice full breath and let it go. Just breathe as your body wants to. Okay, that's literally pulling the frustration and abuse frequencies out of your energy. Just relax. Be calm. Just feel yourself loose, almost as if you're floating, like the wind floats on the water. Just relaxed. Now we're going to remove blockage. Just relax. Another breath in. Just let it fall out of you. Okay. Excuse the cough. Just open your eyes. And hopefully that was relaxing. If it wasn't, just do it again and don't worry about it. If you're trying to do this during lunch and you have to get back to work, something like that, people do it at a time when you have some alone time in a place where you can be alone. And just do it. Okay? If it didn't happen the first time, it'll happen the second time. Sometimes you feel relaxation. Sometimes you can actually feel energy move through you. Don't worry about it. As time goes on and you awaken more, if you go back and watch it again, you'll probably feel more of it. Do you have to go back and watch it again and again? Or no. One time does it. But if you didn't feel it and go through it later when you are more awake, you will feel more. Excuse me. Now, the first thing was just helping your body be calm and relax. I use unicorn energy to do that. The frequencies that are that of unicorn. Okay? And then after that, I go in and I pull the abuse frequencies out of you. Again, that's slightly stronger unicorn energy. And then the third time I go in to remove the blockage, the source energy blocks inside you, I use my own energy. I go and use my power, and I go, each time I do this, I go underneath you and slowly move all my energy through you, from your feet up through your head. That's already been done if you've watched it. Now, let me say this. This is important, and I should have put this at the beginning of the video. If someone, as far as relaxing you, that'll work for anyone and everyone. As far as pulling the blockage out of you, and unless you're aggressively negative, then that'll work. If you're aggressively negative or attacking people and stuff, it's not gonna happen. Okay? Now, the other energy work I'm gonna do, as long as you're 17% lower frequencies or negativity and no more, which is almost every single person that's watching this video, then you'll receive some extra power. Okay, if you're only 27%, but you have good heart energy, it will go in and help you also. The other people, it will not help. They will not receive it. It's not like they're unworthy. It's what their frequencies are. It's not made for them. When you're out of your body again and you're back home in the second dimension, if you want to be cleaned, you can. You just ask for it and you get it. You don't pay spirit dollars. You don't, give away part of yourself, just the lower frequencies. So now what I'd like you to do, okay, you felt them the first time. The selenite, if you can remember what it felt like before, relax and go to it now. See how you feel. It should be a little bit easier to feel now than it was before. It might feel a little bit different. If were already awake, and I worked on you already anyway, I cranked you up, and there should be much of a difference. However, for most people, this is for people who I've never talked to, met, and this many years in the future, many scores of years in the future. You relax, and you feel something. You know something's going on. If you want, go back and watch the first part of the video again for the energy work. The last part of this video, right before I did the energy work. Relax and try to let go a little better and see if you don't feel a little more. That'll help you have a little more trust in yourself that you actually did feel something, okay? Let's see, I also held up the celestite. This is a different stone of understanding, but relax and try to feel this. See how you feel. Okay, if you need to, go back and pause it. There's no wrong thing there if you need to. Well, I couldn't feel stuff right away. It took me a while. Everything I knew, it was through learning and eventually awakening to the point where I am now. I can't be any more awake until I'm out of the body, and there's almost none of me left in here. Okay, now, there's one other thing I want to do. I want you to feel your energy, okay? I've done this with people before on the telephone. Asked them what to do. They've seen it before, and they start doing it themselves, and they get to the certain. I said, okay, stop right there. I said, you feel that pressure? And they say, yeah. I can feel pressure, a little bit of tingling in my fingertips and everything. And I said, good. Well, that's the tingling in the fingers comes from heart energy. The pressure, literally, you're feeling the pressure because the pressure's there. That can be from solar plexus, heart, but usually it's most relative to pineal energy, feeling the pressure. Sometimes you just see it. You just see the sphere and you know it's there, even though you don't know why. Solar plexus is got less feeling to it than the other points, but in a way it's more powerful. The solar plexus energy field is buried 7/8 of the way into your spirit core. So it's like you're standing in a river up to your armpits. Okay? Heart energy is about 25%, something like that, 30% buried inside the core, the energy is. So you can feel more things, and the heart's very sensitive. So that's like you're standing in the water just above your knees. And then pineal is outside of the spirit core. So that's like you're sitting on the shore with your feet in the water. Now, to receive outside stimuli of energy, you can imagine that the image I just gave, those 3 images I gave you about being at a river, if a kid floats by in a raft and squirt you when you're solar plexus and you're buried inside that big wave of energy, which you're feeling move all over the place, you'll feel a water squirt in the head, but you won't feel it as much because you have so much energy going around. You know, you have so much water hitting you directly, moving you, trying to move you downstream. I mean, that's what you're going to feel, you know, the rush of that water. The other water hitting your head, you don't think it feel as much, or hitting your shoulders. Use the shoulder, that's better because the head's too sensitive, so you get shot in the shoulder. Now, if you're heart energy and you're just above the knees in the water, you can feel the water hitting you there, but if someone squirts you in the shoulder, you'll have more concentration to that feeling. And then if you're on the bank, and then you're sitting there with your feet in the water, and a kid floats by close by and squirts you on your shoulder, you're going to feel it more than the rest of them. Also, because you're inside the brain and the pineal works with multidimensional feeling, you see and feel a lot more. So anyway, you know, people say, how do you feel? You know, you're on the phone. How the hell do you see this? I said, I just see it. I'm there. And I am. The field's everywhere, but I go there. When I would crank people up, you ever watch me in those videos, you see me working with my hands right here. That's because I'm literally, here's your brain, the back of the head's here, the nose is in the front, and I'm literally working on your brain. I see your brain. Your brain's over here. Your head is over here. I go to it, but I see it, I don't know, 8 times as big as what it is. And I literally see inside. I see everything, and I move it around and work on it with energy, and you feel it. So now let's do this, okay? And again, this is very important. This step needs not to be skipped unless you've done this before. This is your personal knowledge for yourself that you must have, okay? Now relax. Know that your energy goes through the core and it comes out the heart, comes out the solar plexus a bit, definitely comes out the head a little bit too, but definitely comes out right through the crowns. Okay? There's the hypothalamus gland, the lower crown, the middle crown like a lens, and then the upper crown, which is like a funnel, which is not too much like this, it's more straighter. And it comes in, it takes energy, channels it down into the lens, so there's the middle crown, and it's like a lens, and it directs everything onto the lower crown, which is almost like a blanket that's, if you took the lower crown and you set it down on top of the hypothalamus gland, it's almost like a blanket that got lifted off and opened up a little bit. That's what it looks like. And then the lower crown and the hypothalamus, they move their energy back and forth together, talking, creating understanding, imagery that also happens, the understanding part with the heart involved. Okay, now, also remember the fingertips and the palms are where energy comes in and out. You hear receive with the left, give with the right. Whatever you want to do is fine, but you know what? Energy flows in and out of both hands. You have the spirit core here. It's like a river. The strongest, most intense, intellectual, and powerful part of your spirit's in your brain, running your body. And then it comes out and flows through your arms. That's why when you hold a stone, this is a piece of danbarite, very high vibration, very big piece. Hold it with your fingertips here. Okay? Relax. All right, I feel that go right in my body right away. Using the fingertips, okay, 3 of them's plenty. And then also the palms right here, right? This is the quickest, fastest, most accurate, and most complete way to feel energy, by holding stones with your fingers. Some people take pieces of lapis and literally glue it to their forehead. Sorry. It takes a lot longer for that to get to your pineal than holding it in your hands or wearing it right on it'll stay, on your neck. Do whatever you want to do, people. There's no need to glue stuff to you. For me, that's nutty, okay? Anyway, you relax and feel it. The energy goes in this hand and down to the core. Energy goes in this hand and goes down to the core. Okay? And when it goes in the core, it's also going up through the brain. So, and this is high vibration. This really hits the upper crown, going up right about here. And selenite will take it up a little higher, right about there. And celestite's really thick in the hypothalamus. Go ahead and relax and reach out to feel this stone. This crystal, sorry. It looks a little rough. I guess it is. Just relax and feel the stone. Go ahead and pause it if you want to stare at it a while. I'm going to put my hand down. This stone is awesome. Okay? As a matter of fact, just for giggles now, this is some very good lapis. Extremely good lapis lazuli from Afghanistan. Very dark blue. There's some stuff from India that has more... It's good blue, but it's also got more of the pyrite in there, the silver and gold pyrite, which is also very strong. Gold pyrite, chalcopyrite, that's literally the energy of the head in the unicorn. Unicorn energy is incredibly powerful. The peacock ore, that's unicorn energy. It's an ore that came here that unicorn, the energy being we call unicorn, embedded its own energy in. Boronite, chalcopyrite. So now you can feel this lapis go into your head, okay? Then you take the dambarite and hold the dambarite like that so you feel it better, okay? Now, take a nice piece of amethyst and put that together. And see where you feel it in your head. Now I know right now those of you that are feeling it, you're also looking at me. You're not getting anything from me. I've got myself shut off right here in front of my, just outside of my head. An inch or two out of my body is as far as my energy's going, about 2 inches. So then you take the energy away, or you try one at a time. You can feel the energies change. Okay, you don't feel it yet? Don't worry about it. Remember, look at what I'm proving that I've been doing. I've cranked up over 4,000 people. I've done it over 600 times without anyone screaming, give me my money back and all this other stuff. Metaphysical is real. I'm real. I'm very real. But the most important part is you're real. Your abilities are real, not gifts. Your abilities that you already had, they're very real and they're waiting to come out. What I just did is just a start to help you. And like I said, there's more stuff coming. Now, before we get out of this first video, relax. Remember what we just said about the fingertips and the palms. Now, there's a lot of energy comes out your head and just goes like this, taken off, but there's a lot around the head here. So think about the head here. Take your hands. I know the video is only so big. Aim the hands towards the head like this, okay? But extend them not out to where your elbows lock, but where you're relaxed. And just find a place forward to stare and just gaze. Just, you know, go out of focus and just relax. You go out and then slowly, let me get in the video, and then you slowly move in until you get closer. But don't start here. Start way out here. But you want to go slow like this, okay? And this is going to be so soft. Okay, this isn't a helmet that someone can throw a rock at you and it bounces off. This is very soft energy. You're also not going to light up a light bulb. Okay? This is real. This is spirit, sentient energy. It has an electrical impulse. How do you know that? Because the EKGs, EEGs, all this other stuff, it's a fact that some form of electromagnetic energy goes through your body because it's your spirit and air, biggest one of those 5 energy fields necessary to create sentient energy. So you go outward and then slowly go into inward. And I have to go here to show you on the video, but your arm's going to be more extended out. You slowly come in until you get, it's actually, see how I can do this. It's actually like this far, and then all of a sudden, you can't see. All of a sudden, you start to feel a little something. Just a little something. You say, okay, and then you go out a little bit, and then you come in again slowly, and just feel it. When you can do that, well, I mean, you can do it right away, okay? But you have to understand it's very, very soft. It's very soft energy. It's soft enough to where you're going to doubt, am I feeling anything? The more you do it, the more you realize you are. Okay, and then you remember what that feels like. Before I do this last energy thing, we're going to do that again. We're going to do it 2 more times. But before I do the last energy thing to you, I want you to feel before. Then you get the energy. Then you try it again. Feel it again. And once you've watched the video and you've been given this extra energy, trying to go back and feel it doesn't work, because your intention is to receive it. Even if you can't feel it, doesn't matter. It's there. Okay. This is not a regular crank up. This is a soft addition of source energy to you. Okay. It's soft. It's temporary. It's made for you to wake up, see, and feel stuff. You like it, the feeling of it, go get a crank up from someone who is source. There's going to be a lot of people that are saying they are that aren't. And like I said, there's going to be people hearing this video long after the people that are here now that are source are dead 100 years from now. But as soon as, I'm gone, then everyone's going to be doing some good crank ups and good stuff. It's just a short time after I'm gone. For some people days, for some people weeks, but, a few of them some months. But whatever, it's still going to happen. If you look at my earlier videos, or just go to my videos and look at, there's so many players that are coming in, you'll find out. You're just going to know, okay? Burju, who's done crank ups before, she's source, okay? She can crank you up. I don't know if Paul's going to be doing it. He's strong, source. That again, like Burju, that came from primary Lily and Arae. Siobhan's out in Ireland, and she's Lily energy. I've talked in a lot of my videos who some of these people are. Raj, wait till you meet Raj. He's so cool. He's out in Raj is out in New Zealand. Where New Zealand still is, was and is the southernmost tip, actually southwest tip of the Lemurian island group. And he's incredibly powerful, Arae energy. And like I've said, of course, Deanna is, but Deanna doesn't spend a lot of time with public. She's not going to be in blogs and stuff. She's got other stuff to do, and she will be leaving the planet. She'll be flying around. She's got her own room on the Drock ship already. Her bodyguard's been picked out. I like the guy. He's cool. Anyway, but Deanna's nephew and niece are incredibly strong. The young lad, he's 6 right now. When he's 8, he's going to be doing DNA ICUCs. It'll be in the mass media. See the lights flicker on that? He was the second focal point to come out off of this body that I am, of what I am, the primary Arae. The first one to come off is the primary Arae, initial Arae, whatever, number 2. And then this young gentleman is number 3. And then number 4 is in another body on another planet. And then the 5th, beautiful, beautiful, incredibly powerful heart energy is Raj. That's his name. So things have been crazy. Things have been turned upside down because I took out all the big stuff on the other side running things. So now all the little stuff is stupid. Bunch of stuff, tons of stuff's been killed. When you get out of your body, you go home, you're going to be like, holy crap, what happened? The original source, the source that was over there, including original source, but the other source folks, there were so many taken out and they were so big that when you go home, 92% of everything that was there is going to be gone. So they were that big, that strong, that huge. That and the trillions of angels, the original ones. Anyway, so you'll see it. You'll know. It'll be made available for you. But just some of the folks I mentioned, you'll find out. You'll know. Okay. One of the most straight talking people I've met in a long time, and being Source, and it really makes me feel good because he literally is my brother. Who he is, the spirit that came, was used to be part of me, and now he's himself, and that's Raj. Raj is level-headed, incredibly intelligent. I mean that he's incredibly smart. His heart energy is powerful. He's powerful. Everything will be set up. Everything will be made to happen. Don't worry about it. And people are going to start, their spirit guides are going to start taking better care of them because there will be nothing telling them not to. And if they screw up, they'll be warned once or twice. And animal essence is, of course, no longer having lives. None of them. So they are creation sentinels, and they'll be hanging around people. Where you had angels before, you'll now have animal essence that comes from love, compassion, and fortitude, instead of angels who were just servants doing what they were told, cold-hearted. You meet an angel out of the body that didn't know how to communicate with you yet. You look in their eyes, and they look like serial killers. They did. There are some new angels that came from, primary Lily and I, and they're totally different and over 1,000 times stronger. But they have understanding. They're 55 to 65% angel, and the rest of them is everything else. Planet, star, a human, fae, animal, plant. So anyway, everything's changing. If you would work on filling your energy fields and stuff. I got to run right now, but I'm going to be back in just a little bit. And we're going to move this forward, but I want you to be able to feel your energy. It's very sensitive. It's soft energy. Some people feel it better than others. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. Just relax and get used to it how you see and feel it yourself. Sometimes it's warmth. Sometimes it's tingling. Sometimes it's pressure. Okay? It's whatever it is, it is. Don't worry about it. Okay, folks, this is the end of part 2. Part 3 is coming right up. Just try to relax. Go through some of the stuff you want to think about. Something you feel funny about, uncomfortable. Something else you want to work on. Just keep going. Remember, your energy will flow everywhere. Okay?